This is DRO for 6/19/77.
I truly have a sense of three-dimensionality. I perceive myself rotating like I'm spinning. Gosh, how do I describe up and down? It's like I'm rotating my body, spinning it, and at the same time it's spinning end over end. It's kind of a really neat feeling. And I have that clear consciousness feeling, and Focus 12 seems about 1 billion miles bigger than it ever has.
Very good. Then go explore and find what attracts you and report in.
I thought they were planets. It's almost like all the planets in the universe are lined up in a stream that's moving from my right to my left. And I seem to be just viewing these giant balls of something. They still look like planets. But I asked a minute ago if they were planets, and I was told they were energy. It's fascinating. They're just so... I must have increased in size, because my sense about these things is that they are as huge as, let's say, the planet Jupiter. Some of them have the rings of gases around them in multicolored fashion. The background is stars and blackness, kind of an infinity space feeling. These things just keep moving from right to left. They're just awesome and beautiful.
Is there any particular act you would like to perform? Any particular communication you would like to establish?
I would like to I sense there's a lot of energy around, and I kind of would like to see where it's emanating from, try to get to the source of it. But I don't know which way to go.
Ask for help in what you desire.
Okay. And back to realize that these things are not moving from right to left, but are encircling me. And that the energy I feel emanates from my center of consciousness. And just to breathe in the energy, and that I will feel it stronger and stronger. The energy just goes right through me. It's very powerful and strong. I like it. I don't know how to describe it. It's very intensive. It's like it's keyed right to me, and it's building. It seems to go right through the center of my solar plexus. It's causing that part of my body to ripple, feel like waves.
Ask for help in healing your physical body with it, if that is possible.
All right. I'm being told that the seeds of complete healing from my physical body have already begun. It's only a matter of time until the healing will be complete, and that proceeding along the same lines of thought that have been undergone in terms of working on the physical problem. Well, it is getting much better, and there is no further need to worry about it getting better. This energy that I'm feeling is going to the leg as well as everywhere else. The planets and things I was seeing earlier have now surrounded me in an elliptical sort of shape. It's sealed from the top all the way down. It's multicolored. It's almost like a cocoon. It's like the energy balloon, but it's not round. It's long and smoothed at the top, almost like a cylindrical object with rounded ends.
Very good.
The energy seems to be reach the solar plexus first, and then seems to ripple in some way. I don't quite understand, but I'm being told that the energy is building and not to be afraid of it. Just continue to breathe it in, that it's very beneficial, and it's opening centers up that need to be opened.
Good. Just relax and go with the flow and feel calm and comfortable.
Feeling of color attached to the energy. It's a ice blue. I feel cold, but it's hard to explain. It's kind of like a cold vaporish feeling. It doesn't feel uncomfortable, but yet it has some of the qualities of cold and surprisingly some of the qualities of blueness. I keep wanting to tie it to ice blue. I'm asking what I'm supposed to do. And I'm just getting back. I'm supposed to experience this energy.
Is there intelligence in connection with the energy?
It's almost like it's funny you should ask. It's almost mechanical, almost non. I get messages with the energy, but they're almost mechanical in fashion. It's almost just like the energy is there, like it could stay there forever. I feel like this bubble that I'm in is an energy vortex of some kind, and it just exists and goes on infinitely. I feel as though I can draw intelligences to this bubble. I'm going to try to ask for help that knows what's going on to come and guide me in the use of this energy. I feel like it's very important that I make use of the energy while I have it.
Very good. That's a very good process. And so you follow it. You just remain calm and serene.
Literally billions of bits of consciousness just coming from every single direction and attaching themselves to this cocoon-like structure I'm in. In some way, I feel like they're integrating to each other. They're all different. They're all different bits of information, And they're not human or mechanical or anything. They're just consciousness. And they're attaching like little tiny insects to this cocoon, and in some way they're linking up. And I think in a few seconds I'll be able to communicate with it as a gestalt, sort of. Oh.
Very good. Very good. Just relax and go with the flow. How do you feel otherwise?
You mean emotionally?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I feel like I'm on the threshold of something very new. I have a little bit of fear, but it's far balanced by my desire to experience what's happening. And it's funny, I'm very comfortable with it. The shaking and the vibration from the solar plexus is still there, but it's not quite as shattering, and I feel like that coldness is getting a little warmer. So my emotional state is comfortable and relaxed. I'm excited. I think it's I have a strong sense of this is something I've always wanted, what's happening, and that this is a gateway to something I feel. It's energy I feel very strong about. Its potential for use. I feel like I could use this energy for everything. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like it's no limit to what could be done with it. And the energy bar technique that I used earlier, I feel like if this energy was sent through the energy bar, I could, gosh.
Remember where it is then. Remember how to tap this energy at any time in the future. Remember where it is and how to tap it and feel it and understand it and control it and use it.
Okay. These intelligences are saying to me that energy is the key to almost any form of knowledge, perception, any form of being. And they're saying that the physical body has to have a certain amount of this energy present for it to function efficiently and smoothly, and that the energy is best built up through the breathing that was done earlier, and that with practice it doesn't seem so rough. It's rough now because the particles in my body are being accelerated faster than they're normally used to being accelerated, and that once the overall vibrational pattern of my body is more rapid, there won't be such a difference between the vibrational speed of this energy and the vibrational speed that I exist in the physical world with. And I'm being told that the changes I've been perceiving this week, which have been an extremely enhanced ability to visualize, including colors, are all part of the raised vibration. It's not the raising of them, it's the fact that they are the general state at which my body and structure vibrates is higher than it was. And
that's fine. That's
yes.
very good. Mm-hmm.
This cocoon is just now split down the middle and rolled open, and I'm being told to step out into the space, so to speak, and experience the vastness is what I got. This experience not having any dimensions to work with, experience not having up or down. So I'm going to step out of this cocoon and move forward. There seems to be like a reddish, something looks very much like my impression of what Mars looks like. It seems to be a planet off in the distance, and I'd like to move in the direction of it if I could.
Just stay in communication.
Okay.
Keep relaxed and report as you go.
Well, I've reached the outer edge of this. I believe it is a planet. I see gases, and I'm being told to experience the fact that these are poison gases but at the same time realizing that I'm protected from the danger of them. It's a strange, odd feeling. It's like I'm breathing these gases in and experiencing just a touch of the feeling of the poisonness of them, but at the same time I'm protected from it. It's sort of I'm being led to experience it. I'm moving through the gases. They're kind of a pinkish, bluish, iridescent sort of looking. And I'm finding myself on the ground. The ground appears to me to be desert-like. Little rocks and big rocks, but I don't see any mountains or ranges of mountains. I see flat everywhere, and the ground is somewhat brown. Of dark, well, it's like, it's tan is what it is. It's kind of a tan color.
Ask if this is a physical planet, physical matter planet, and if it is, where is it located?
Okay. Well, my prior identification with Mars is hard to shake, but I asked if this was Mars, and I got that this was Centaur 6, and it's in Omega constellation 4, and that this planet is very much like planet Earth, except that it's in the same stage of evolvement that Earth was in billions of years ago after it cooled. Being told that the spores that are necessary for vegetation have not yet entered the planetary system, and that, oh, I see, this is in what we would call our past, this planet. This planet, as I understand it, is has now, I'm moving forward in time now, and I'm seeing the vegetation. I'm seeing the crust changes and so on, and I'm also being told that this planet has a direct link to planet Earth, a direct relationship to planet Earth, much as the cells in the body have a relationship. being told that all of the physical matter, planets, stars, asteroids, and so on, have a relationship that is symbiotic, somewhat like the cells in the body. They are part of a vast, integrated system of consciousness. I was expecting system of matter, and I got system of consciousness, that all matter is consciousness in physical form, and that for some reason, though, this planet is related to planet Earth. I'm moving forward now. Being told that there are many... Okay, I'm sorry, I'm moving forward so far now that I see civilization flourishing everywhere. I see everywhere on this planet, I see life. Beings seem to be human-looking, but they're much taller than we are, and they seem to move around without walking. They seem to just move around like they're floating. I'm centering in on a city. It's called Gothnik or Gothar or something like this. It starts with a G. It's a city on this planet, and it seems to be one of their leading industrial and scientific situations and cities. I'm being told that this group of people that inhabit this city are interested in studying Earth and interested in establishing contact with people on the Earth, and that they are largely responsible for many of the UFO phenomena that we have seen. I'm asking what I'm approaching with the kind of attitude of, well, that's very fine, but why do you want me to know this? And I'm being taken inside of a structure. It looks like a huge cylindrical like a water tower, but bigger and longer and taller. And on the outside, there are something looks like stairs that go from the very top of it and encircle it and go around and around and around, much like the stairs in a firehouse. But I'm inside this place, and being told that the scientists that work at this installation would like to make contact more often than they have. They say that it's been hard to make contact. They say that they've made contact with people on the Earth, but many times people aren't aware of them because this vibrational situation I talked about earlier was not high enough. It's like until a person's vibrations are raised to a certain vibratory level, they are not able to experience certain types of phenomena in communication. And
express our desire to establish such communication.
Okay. He seems very pleased. He seems to be very warm. This is the first being that I've ever come across that seemed to have feelings rather than that computer-like being that I've experienced. I don't mean an individual being, but there seemed to be such a coldness about all of the other ones I've experienced. This person seems very warm and very genuine in his extension of help. He thanks. I communicated to him that everyone here would like very much to share information, so on and so forth with him, and he said that he seems to be at the command module, so to speak, of this building, and he says that this is Gothar's more or less central receiving area, and that he's in charge of a team of beings that simply go out into the universe where there's intelligence and try to make contact in order to bring back information. He says that from what he's gotten about Earth, we are also seeking communication because we feel more or less alone in the universe, and he said that this planet has felt this need of communicating and exchanging ideas scientifically and so on and so forth. He says that he will work with anyone who desires to contact him. He stresses that the breathing that is being done here is one of the integral parts that make it possible to communicate, the raising of this energy. And he says that there cannot be too much breathing going on. He says that the energy cannot be raised too much. There's nothing to worry about it, and it's something that should be done by everyone here on a daily basis. He says that most of the information he has to give will have to come through what we would call subconscious states of mind, but that with time, with practice, communication can be improved. And he says he's surprised at how good the communication has been from our explorers and lab itself. He considers it to be one of the key places on the face of the Earth that he finds communication with. He says there are six major areas on the face of the Earth that he feels strong communication from, and that he's trying to disseminate his people to these places to increase the energy levels so that there'll be more communication.
Very good. Ask if he has any recommendations beyond the breathing that we can do to improve our conscious communication.
Okay. He says that awareness increases all energies, and that it is important to realize, to get in one's mind the idea of what one wants to have happen. In other words, not to have this idea sometimes when one is trying to make contact, but rather to practice experiencing the concept of this communication. It's hard to put this into words, but I'm sensing him. It's basically just that you have to be aware that this communication is going on from the point of view of several times a day thinking and being aware that you are being communicated with, and desiring during the day and during waking periods that this communication level should be opened, and also as well as sessions, so to speak. He says he says that it's, well, he's showing me something. I see this is what he sends his people out with. It looks like a mental, gosh. I'm trying to describe it. It's hard for me to, for some reason. It's a familiar shape, but I can't get the words in my mind. It's cylindrical and pointed.
Conical,
yes, but not very deep, and it has a long thing. It looks like a radar dish is what it looks like, and out of the center of it are coming this thick, long pointed, in other words, it's not a thin little spire coming out of the middle of this. It's a thick thing looking almost like a rocket or a missile, and on the outside are these things, something like I described earlier, that encircle it like the steps in a firehouse. So they like the steps in the front room, that go round and around in circles. The something on the outside of it goes through, and he says that his people travel out on the beam of this device, and that let me see. I'm going to ask him to be more specific as to how we can make contact with him. Because I'm not. He's showing me these different things, but I'm not. I don't know how to describe it. I just don't understand them very much. So I'm going to ask him how we can make contact so that we all can look at this thing when we want to and be in contact with him.
Also ask him if we can build such a device here on the planet Earth.
Okay. He says that this is a radio frequency beam at its lowest vibrational state, and that it vibrates. There's a device inside that makes this frequency accelerate to such a point that I'm just seeing trillions of cycles. I mean, it's, and what he says is that well, I think if we had this beam aimed into space, it doesn't have to be. I'm getting that it doesn't have to be powerful in the sense of just thousands of watts of power, but it has to extend away from the lower atmosphere of the planet, and that what his people do is they get into similar mental states, and then they think of this beam and they try to hook onto it, so to speak. They try to become aware of it intensely. And as they become aware of it mentally, they unite with the pulsations of this beam. And their vibrational state is accelerated to such an extent that they can project portions of themselves outward much easier and more beneficially. He says that we could do the same thing, but that the trick here is getting the variation in the beam from low frequency to high frequency somewhere in the range that can be most beneficial. And he says that we can experiment with this, but it has to do with the range of vibrational frequencies within our human structure, and that we are in a better position to measure this than he is. And that it's really a matter of mentally identifying with this thing.
I'm going to vary now the sweet pulse frequency under which you're operating and see if you can detect a clarity or a lessening as I do so.
Okay.
And report it as you experience it and as he reports back to his clarity of perceiving you.
Okay. It seems to be getting clearer the faster you pulse it. Still getting clearer. Leave right there, it seems very clear.
What happens when I go past it now?
Okay. At a certain point, it's getting, if there was a moment there where it didn't seem like it was producing that acceleration of awareness, but no, that's definitely increasing the energy. That, I just was told by him that that's optimal for communication with him, his planet and his people, right where you were.
Right at
there.
That point.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel? Does it feel comfortable to you?
Very much so. Could it be a little bit louder? Yes, right there. Feels much better. He says that what his people do is they practice with this. This is almost identical to what he's sending out, I'm getting. Except that...
His is a radio frequency, is that it?
Well, his starts off at this radio frequency, but he says that when it gets up to the extremes, it can't be heard even by his people, and certainly not by ours. I understand his people have a higher limit, the range is higher. But he says that the value of it, in terms of learning, in terms of being able to use this as a tool, is diminished in the beginning stages by not being able to hear it, certainly. Although later on, the frequencies that you can't even hear can be used and moved outward with. He says that what he does when he's training people to use this frequency is that he's totally he makes it overwhelming to their senses in such a way that, well, I guess through use of volume and through use of, but I don't know how he remains. Well, he says he communicates telepathically with them.
Very good. Now I asked him if we can come and visit him again then.
Yes, he says we can come and visit him any time, that we are quite able to use the beam that he's got as well as constructing our own beam, but that this frequency that you're dealing with right now, he feels is a very good frequency to work with, and that the moving from the slower rate that you started with, the slower sweep to this, is very important. And with individuals, it would be good to vary the loudness almost to the point of being very loud, so as to overwhelm the other sensory inputs. And he says that in order to communicate with him, all we need to do, he says, is think of the word Gothar, the city, and that immediately, and think of this beam, and we should be able to reach this place.
Very good. And thank him very much then.
Okay.
And we're very happy that we've been able to make the communication.
All right.
And then release and ask for help for return slowly back. All right?
Okay.
move back into your energy cocoon.
Okay. I moved back into it. It's funny, it's just like it was.
Very good. Now slowly let the energy absorb itself. If it's your energy, let it absorb itself in you for your greater
Okay.
strength. And gradually move back to normal, focus 12, and thank all the consciousness that has helped you in this project.
Okay.